Hey guys, what's up? Shin05T5 here, coming at you with another video. And today's video, I want to talk about how much I hate Xbox. I have always hated Xbox since day one, but now that it looks like the Xbox brand is probably not going to be around for much longer, especially with like how bad like Game Pass, like the new Game Pass price increase, how people feel about that, and just the fact that like they really don't have any like brand anymore, because like they don't sell like systems, even though they do have like the Series X and Xbox One X or whatever the fuck they call it. But the fact that like their goal now is to make everything an Xbox, like, oh, your PlayStation's an Xbox, your computer's an Xbox. Once you lose that kind of like brand image, it's just like you're pretty much done as a company. And honestly, the Gamer Review, or Retro Reviews, had like a conspiracy theory thought where he's like, he thinks Microsoft just wants to get out of gaming in general, so they're trying their best to kill the Xbox brand, and then probably just like sell it off or whatever. So they're trying their best to kind of like damage it to get someone to want to buy it. Which honestly I believe. I think like Xbox never really did well for Microsoft. It was always their like lowest like grossing stuff when it compared to like their computers and like their software and stuff like that. The gaming division never really shined all that great. And me personally, I never liked Xbox. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I never liked Xbox since day one. And I remember when they showed off Xbox at like, I don't think it was E3, it was some tech show, and they showed off what the Xbox was going to be, and I remember seeing it on TV, and I think they showed off the game Malice, that was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, and I think never got made on Xbox, and they made it for like PlayStation, for the PlayStation 2, but it was like this hammer game, and I remember them showing it, they're like, oh, this is the new system, Microsoft's making a game console, and it's like, again, it didn't really interest me at the time, and when the original Xbox came out, I really had no interest in it. They didn't have any, like, hard-hitting games that I really wanted to play. Again, me growing up, I liked, you know, like, RPGs, games like Tekken, Soul Calibur. Even though they did have some, like, the Xbox version had, like, Soul Calibur 2, they had Spawn in it, which was actually kind of cool. But again, it's like, I'd rather play as Link on the GameCube. So, again, there was really no reason for me to ever really want an Xbox, so I just kind of, like, didn't get into it. They didn't really have any interesting games for me. So, personally, I just never got into it. I started hating Xbox around the Xbox 360 time. But before that, before we get into the 360, I want to talk about the original Xbox, because there's one more point I want to bring up, and what I did not like what Xbox did when they entered the gaming market is they bought out the rights to a bunch of IPs, and specifically Sega IPs, and I love Sega games. Jet Set Radio, Shenmue, Nights into Dreams, Space Channel 5. I love Sega games, and what Microsoft did, which honestly from a business standpoint was pretty smart, was since Sega kind of got out of the console market and they were kind of hurting for money, Microsoft went to them and said, hey, we'll basically rent some of your IPs and we'll put them and make them Xbox exclusive, so hopefully like we just become kind of like the Dreamcast 2 with their lineup. And that's why you saw for the original Xbox, they had so many like Sega games. They had Crazy Taxi on Xbox. They had Space Channel 5, Sega Bass Fishing. All these were like Xbox exclusive games, and it's because Xbox made a deal with Sega to take their IPs and make them kind of Xbox exclusive. And they sold a bunch of them. They didn't sell like Sonic. Of course, Sega would not sell Sonic to like Microsoft or rent Sonic to Microsoft. But they did it with all other ones. And to Microsoft's credit, they did port over Shenmue 2. It was a bad port, but they did put it on Xbox, so okay. And then they did make Jet Set Radio Future, which that's an actually really good game. But the problem is, none of these Sega IPs sold for the original Xbox. And a lot of stuff did not work on the original Xbox. But since the Sega IPs didn't sell, what Xbox decided to do was just sit on them. They, instead of just giving back and be like, okay, listen, we're gonna like cut this deal. Here you go, Sega. We don't need any of your IPs. They just sat on them, and that's why it took so fucking long for us to get a that Jet Set Radio HD port. I think they made that as soon as like Xbox lost its like rental rights to like Sega IPs. So again, when you wonder why like, oh, why wouldn't they make like a new Jet Set Radio game? It's because like I think Sega physically could not make a Jet Set Radio game, which was insane. And I didn't like Xbox when I found that out. Secondly, and Xbox did try to make their own like 2D mascot, or not 2D, but like animal mascot platformer. Do you remember Blix the Time Sweeper? Yeah, they made 2 of those games, and again, those games did not sell well. And they just decided to just not try for a 3D platform mascot character with Blix when that didn't do well. And then, they did the fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day Alive and Reloaded, where they censored it and made a completely shitty port of the game after they bought Rareware. And they bought fucking Rareware and just did not utilize them. They made nothing with Banjo-Kazooie. They fucking ruined Conker's Bad Fur Day. They are just such a shitty company. And the reason why they were so shitty was because of Halo. They tried to do a whole bunch of stuff. They tried buying IPs. They tried making their own mascot character. They tried all this stuff, and nothing stuck except Halo. And the original Xbox was pretty much just a Halo box, really, for a long time. Where it's just like, all of your games sucked except this one game, except Halo, and that just became the face of Xbox for pretty much ever, even still is today. But, it just became like the face of Xbox, and once Xbox realized, oh, we have our killer app, they just wanted to do more Halo. They didn't want to expand, they didn't want to change anything. They were just happy with Halo, and they said, fuck it, we don't need Rare anymore, we don't need these Sega IPs, we'll just sit on them. Who cares about these other games? Let's just focus on Halo. And that leads us into the Xbox 360, where Xbox just doubled down, made more like Halo games, and they focused on online multiplayer. And I absolutely hated it. So, and the worst thing is, the 360 was so fucking popular. It kind of, like, Xbox was on top during that generation between the 360 and the PS3. They were on top the entire time. And the reason why was their online service caught on faster than the PSN did. And it just issued in like this decade of brown military shooters. And the shitty thing is just like, I remember in that period of time, there was really nothing to play modern game-wise for me. As someone who hates first-person shooters, hates playing games online, that was pretty much all you had. And the reason why, it was because that was the only thing Microsoft was really interested in pushing, was online multiplayer shooters. And it sucks. Since they were in the lead, they actually got to like navigate or like set the course for where the gaming industry went. So again, they decided, well, this is really popular for us, we're just going to invest in this. And again, they were able to lead the way. And that's why, like, I think the 360 and PlayStation 3 era was just so shit, was because Microsoft was in the lead. I think if Sony was in the lead at the time and the PlayStation 3 caught on, we'd have way more RPGs, we'd have way more platforming games, we'd have more stuff. And not to mention, the 360 was the first system to charge you to play online, which was later adopted by PlayStation and Nintendo. Xbox was the first one to do it. Now you can make the argument that, like, well, if Xbox wasn't, one of the other companies would. Probably, but you gotta remember, online for the PlayStation 3 was completely free. You didn't need a membership, you didn't need a subscription, you could just play your games online, and that was it. It was Microsoft that was like, no, we're going to charge you for this feature. Which should honestly be a basic feature that isn't locked behind a paywall. Because, like, when you think about it, when you buy a game and they have, like, you know, single-player mode and then online mode, it sucks that the online mode is contingent on you having a subscription service. That's just bullshit. But I digress. But Xbox was the one that started it, and now it's like the industry standard going forward. So thanks, Xbox. And then, but again, during the 360 time, I did not play. I've never owned a 360. I've never played it. And again, the games that they had that were like Xbox 360 exclusive were like games I would not want to play at all. I don't give a shit about Halo. I don't give a shit about Gears of War. I just don't care about those games. I don't care about, like, the first-person shooters. So, again, like, as a gamer like myself, Xbox just really had nothing for me. And as they went on with the Xbox One and the Series X and even to, like, modern time, they continue to make games I don't care about. They continue to buy game companies that I don't care about. It was like Blizzard, right? They bought Blizzard, and it's like, I don't give a shit about Blizzard games. And what's so funny about Xbox as a brand entirely, and like the decision making behind Xbox, it's literally like you got a group of people that want to specialize in games I personally just don't like. Like, you got an entire company, one of the big three, to be like, okay, we are going to just focus in on exclusively games Shin 0555 absolutely fucking hates. And we're going to build our brand on that. And that's pretty much Xbox for me. So, seeing that, like, Xbox probably won't be around probably 10 years from now, especially with the how people feel about Game Pass right now, how they honestly don't even seem interested in making, like, consoles anymore. They want to make everything an Xbox. I don't know if Xbox as, like, a gaming brand will be around much, like, in the future. They actually might just go the way of Sega and just become, like, a third-party publisher. And, that'll probably be it. So, anyway, guys, I just want to make this video just me ranting, talking about how I just never liked Xbox. And I never will. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys have been an Xbox fan. Again, growing up, I avidly, like, hated it, especially during the 360 era. But now it's just like, I just don't care about Xbox. It's never interests me. I've never liked it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.